Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Swastatya Dejatarine
have had some somber atmosphere, the people will be shocked. Suppose they are fab, everybody is so happy. Something must be wrong. So we'll have a soft, what do you call, kirtan before we jump into the real excitement of the program. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Before we start the proceedings, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, the KRSNA people of the Adelaide Plains. I pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging, and I recognize their continuing connection to land, water, and culture. I extend that respect to all the Virgin and Torrens Strait Islander people have here today. We are gathered here today to celebrate the wonderful spiritual journey of His Grace Prabhu and to acknowledge Prabhu's significant contribution to ISKCON and the devotee community, not just in Adelaide, but also in other centers like ISKCON Melbourne, ISKCON Malaysia, Sri Lanka, to just name a few. Before we begin the proceedings, I would like to warmly welcome very distinguished and very senior devotees from Melbourne and Perth. Firstly, I would like to extend a warm welcome to His Grace Adelaide Prabhu and Her Grace Achintya Mataji from ISKCON Melbourne. I would like to welcome His Grace Sitaram Lakshman Prabhu from ISKCON Perth. I would like to welcome His Grace Mathuramana Prabhu from ISKCON Melbourne. I would like to extend a warm welcome to His Grace ADI-PURUSA Prabhu, Her Grace Lokali Mataji and family. Finally, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the devotees present here today. Today's program is as follows. So we have speeches by our Adelaide Temple President, Abhiram Nityan Sakadas Prabhu, followed by speech by His Grace Adelaide Prabhu, speech by His Grace Sitaram Prabhu. Then we'll have the opportunity to hear from the Adelaide congregation. This will be for about 30 minutes. We have a very special speech by His Grace Mathuramana Prabhu. And finally, we will hear from the very special devotee today, His Grace ADI-PURUSA Prabhu and Her Grace Lokali Mataji. Now, we'll try to have our Aarti start at about 12:10 to 12:35, depending on how we have time, but we'll go on this. And following Aarti is Amrit Prasadam. Firstly, I would like to invite our temple, Adelaide Temple President, Abhiram Nityananda Sakadas, to come and say a few words.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble practices. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. The Acharyas tell us that the perfection of our lives is calculated to the degree that we please Krishna. And of all the activities we can perform, there is one activity that pleases Krishna the most. Anyone want to guess what that is? Yes, that is right. Even more than glorifying the Supreme Lord Himself, He is more pleased when we glorify His devotees. And it's also important to remember that the reverse is also true. So when you criticize or blaspheme a devotee, that's what displeases the Supreme Lord the most. So today we are all gathered here together to acknowledge and to offer heartfelt thanks to His Grace ADI-PURUSA Prabhu for his service as co-temple president of ISKCON Adelaide. Leadership within a temple is never easy. It requires making countless decisions, often under pressure, and managing a wide variety of needs, spiritual, operational, and emotional. During his time of service, ADI-PURUSA Prabhu helped move forward many initiatives that helped the temple and its community. His efforts included paying off the very large loan he inherited, restarting after a long absence the Rathayatra, restarting the Rundle Mall Street Harinam again after a long absence, purchasing the property next door, and of course, building this beautiful temple extension. All of these things contributed meaningfully to the temple, and for all those things and many others, we are truly grateful. Now I'm told there's one job even harder than being a temple president. That is being the wife of a temple president. So when your husband is misunderstood and criticised, you just have to sit silently and there's nothing you can do. So we must also acknowledge and pay heartfelt tribute to Her Grace, Lokanandi Mataji, for her tireless, silent service. So leadership comes naturally with accomplishments and challenges. As with any period of service, there were situations that were experienced in different ways by different members of the community. Our hope is that over time, these moments can serve as an opportunity for reflection, understanding, and collective growth. Srila Prabhupada emphasized the importance of Vaishnava relationships built on humility and respect. And as a community, we remain committed to cultivating those values. As we move forward, we carry with us the lessons of the past and a vision for a more united, inclusive, and loving devotee family. So let us once again thank His Grace ADI-PURUSA Prabhu for all his contributions, and we pray to Sri Sri Radha Shamsundar to bless him on his ongoing devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your kind words. Next, I would like to invite His Grace Anila Prabhu to say a few words. Anila Prabhu is currently the temple president of ISKCON Melbourne and has been serving in that capacity since 1990. And that is for the last 35 years. Anila Prabhu is also secretary of ISKCON Australia, also from 1990, and is serving as the regional secretary for ISKCON Adelaide and ISKCON Perth. Please welcome His Grace Anila Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome. Om Mahagyanatimirandasya Saranjana Savakaya Chakshum Vitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Amkina Putale Swayam Rupakadam Jati Svapadantikam Mukam Karoti Vacham Mukam Gayati Gurum Yakripa Tamam Vande Shri Gurum Tirthavinam. Hare Krishna. It's actually a pioneering occasion. We're all getting to the age where it's time for us to, I'm speaking for myself, move on to more appropriate services that are perhaps age appropriate. Not that we don't. One of the things that the senior leaders of ISKCON have to contribute to the whole of society is maturity, experience, longevity. You know, one of the first things that I noticed, I first met ADI-PURUSA in Telok Intan in Malaysia. We were, Chinchilla and I were guests of the family. And one thing I noticed, every morning, without fail, up early and off to Mongolati, right? And ADI-PURUSA was the founder of that temple and the maintainer of that temple as well. And one of the things that I noticed that struck me was that dedication to the process, to the sadhana, but also attachment to chanting Hare Krishna. So, and you know, this really is a measure of a devotee. And we came in this morning and ADI-PURUSA is leading the kirtan, because he genuinely loves to chant Hare Krishna. Or at least that's my observation. Plus, as a consequence of chanting Hare Krishna, he likes to serve. Right? He has a large capacity and has shown over the years a large capacity for service. So I was pleasantly surprised and very, very happy to discover that when we needed a temple president for Adelaide, he put his hand up. Right? And took on the challenge. And I know because I'd been coming to Adelaide for, I don't know, maybe 3 years prior. What year was that?
2010.
2010, it's a long time ago, 15 years, gosh. So, Adelaide was a struggle. Maybe still is a struggle. Well, as Abhiram mentioned, you know, managing community, managing just the basic functionality of a temple. You know, there are many dimensions of managing a spiritual community that don't exist in just ordinary management affairs. It's much more diverse, much more nuanced, and in many ways much more challenging. So when I heard that ADI-PURUSA was enthusiastic to take up the challenge, it was a great relief for me, and I thank him for that, taking on that responsibility. And it wasn't easy because we just had been given the statutes for the fire safety, and that's one of the reasons why we ended up with a debt, because we had to build this fire escape and make sure that the facility here was up to standards, up to the laws, really. So I'd like to thank personally ADI-PURUSA and on behalf of the Australian National Executive, the Maharaj and David Maharaj and Ajit, and of course Matura will speak for himself. But we'd like to thank you for taking on the challenge that Adelaide Temple has presented and is leaving us, well, not exactly leaving us, but we've seen the manifestation of the temple community, and now especially this fantastic temple facility that we have here. I think this temple room is bigger than Melbourne, by the way. It's pretty cool. It's pleasant, very pleasant to be here. So I know it's a challenge. You know, ADI-PURUSA has spent the last 15 years of his life working very hard to keep things running, to maintain the facility and to support the community, and to have to retire is painful. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm going through the process myself in Melbourne. I've reached an age where I'm not at my full, I'm getting older. Am old, perhaps. And so, you know, it's time for a transition. And that can be painful because what you're doing is you're doing yourself out of a job. You're removing yourself from what you've spent the last 15 years, in your case, doing. And, you know, we take on these services with a degree of commitment, with a strong commitment to Prabhupada. We see that with the Krishna Prabhu, strong commitment to serving Prabhupada. So, you're a pioneer and a champion, have been, and setting this example is also pioneering. And it's a thing that we have to do as leaders. Prabhupada wanted us, as spiritual leaders, to set an example of spiritual practice and spiritual achievement, and especially in our later years. Not that we retire completely, because as I said, there's maturity, there's experience, there's longevity. We can still contribute, but we need to be contributing from a slightly different perspective, from a slightly different angle. So again, thank you. All the best, and Hare Krishna. We just celebrated our 50 years in Melbourne, and we've got a book written by Dr. Vendesh. Go to the picture. Thank you.
Thank you, much appreciated. I would like to now invite His Grace Sitaram Prabhu, the co-TP of ISKCON Club, and also long-serving member of ISKCON Adelaide Committee. Please put your hand together for His Grace Sitaram Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Nice to be again here in Adelaide for this occasion of thanking Prabhu for his services. So I was trying to recollect when I first met Prabhu. I think it was back in 2000, something like that, when in Malaysia they had a convention in Port Dickson, 2000. So I went there for that. Then of course I met what is there, and of course Prabhu, they came from Pelican Chan and had the program over there too. After that, Prabhu talked to me and he said actually I should come sometime to Pelican Chan because there are many Telugu people over there. So please, because I'm from Andhra Pradesh, there's Amar. So it's like then after that again I met Prabhu in different times and occasions in Malaysia, and then later on I think in Southern Prabhu came to Melbourne first, I believe, and then after that then Prabhu came to Australia, and of course when Prabhu came to Melbourne I wasn't there, but I saw him there later on in Melbourne. And then of course we come to know about Prabhu and Balaji, the doing services over there in Melbourne. And then later on, and as Anil Prabhu mentioned that he took the challenge of managing the ADI temple in 2010. And as Anil Prabhu said, it wasn't an easy thing that time to manage the temple. It was very difficult times and hard work. And Prabhu maintained it as late. And late on when I came to Adelaide, and then that time when I saw the temple and everything, I was very impressed with the whole work. And as Prabhu said, as Prabhu confirmed, managing ISKCON temple, ISKCON temple, is not an easy thing. Many challenges, and many difficult decisions to take, organization, and plus actually keeping the standard of which is required. That is also a very difficult thing. And moreover, to keep the finance together, paying the bills of the temple, that's the most difficult thing. And Prabhu with his expertise, actually, like they brought everything out of the situation, and then as Prabhu said, so that bought the next door, the house there, and then increased, and again, and somehow got some mercy, like I've been coming to Adelaide in 2016 again, and then I had more close association to work closely with Prabhu, and trying to help with the actor here, and so Sri Radha Sundar, and and Prabhu has confirmed by the previous devotees that maintained the place very nicely and expanded it to the situation where we are now. And heard actually Prabhupada said, if we can maintain the things which are given, then that will be good. If we can expand it, it's better. But at least maintain what I have given. But in the case of the Prabhu, and he maintained it and also expanded it also. It's very nice. Of course, Prabhu has been well supported by Mataji, as Adelaide Prabhu said, the support of the wife is very important in managing anything. So Mataji is helping. And also another thing which I noticed that in Prabhu's case, the whole family, there are devotees, which is very, very rare thing here. The whole is Prabhu's son and daughter and daughter-in-law and son-in-law and grandchildren. There are many devotees. It's a very, very nice thing to see. It's one thing to become trying to become devotees, but another thing is to bring the whole family together and serve the Lordship, serve the mission. It's very, very glorious. Prabhupada has done a very wonderful job. Of course, while working with Prabhu, we are all different, we all think differently, we have different ideas, and we manage differently also. And so this is what I learned while working with Prabhu, with the management here. And it's not actually everything has to be in the same way, but we can do in different ways and then work. And that's why. So by doing that, I am sure I'm committed to many offenses. So I like to beg forgiveness when I commit offenses. And also I say blessings from Prabhu and Mataji and Radha Sundar Prabhupada to bless me so that I can continue some devotional services in Prabhupada and be of some use to this movement. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Shivananda, much appreciated. So it's 11:30 now. So we'd like to hear from the assembled devotees. We have a time slot of 30 minutes. Therefore, I humbly request devotees to keep their speech between 2 to 3 minutes, which gives opportunity for as many devotees to speak. And therefore, I apologize in advance if I prompt you at the end of 3 minutes. I just raise my hands, so apologies for that. So what I'll do is I'll hand over the mic. What we'll do is we'll start with Prabhu first, with the Matajis and so forth. No in particular order. And if you want to speak, please raise your hands and then we can pass on the mic. Firstly, I'd like to give it to His Grace Krishna Prabhu.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvanacharine Nirvisesh Shunyavadi Paschat Vistare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. First of all, thank you ADI-PURUSA Prabhu Mataji for coming to this program and for the opportunity to speak a few words. Being in this temple, I believe ADI-PURUSA Prabhu and myself, we somewhat started at the same time at this temple. We started at about 2011. We were also new. We thought ADI-PURUSA Prabhu was here for all the time and he was thinking we were here for some time as well, but both of us were new. As time went on, this was the first temple. This is where we were introduced to Hare Krishna type of lifestyle. Although we were going to Hare Krishna temples before, but it was never serious business. And we grew in this temple, learned a lot from Prabhuji, Mataji along the years, which we will always cherish and always value. We thought that we were part of a same team. We have worked with ADI-PURUSA Prabhu for many years, both in management and also in operational side. And as I said, learned a lot from Prabhu and Mataji. And we thank Prabhu and Mataji and seek their blessings. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji, and wish all the best in your future years in devotional service. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
May please have Mataji come forward, say a few words, please. So just to make it easy, if you can just be ready before we start so we can... Any Mataji, you want to come forward, please? Want to come? After I'd like to invite Gaurani.
Jagatrupatruvyasya kripa sindhubhyo Titanam pavanabhyo Shantam Jai Shri Prabhupada. I can never forget that day it was like we were always there in Mangala. So one day it happened that me and Prabhu was only there, nobody else. So first person to teach me Tulsi Aarti was when I can never forget. So this shows that thinking out of the box, like who can perform Aarti, who cannot perform Aarti, going ahead of that, not following the normal niyama agraha, not too much of niyama agraha. So that's what I learned. And Mataji was always there in the kitchen. And she taught me many things, how to save and reserve things, how to use them precisely. I can never forget the coriander, and she said it's like a gold that you have to use. So now I tell to my son also that it's a gold. And Satam Prabhu also, once I got sweet made up of chocolate when I was very new. On Janmashtami, maybe he remembers. So it was beautifully decorated and I got it very, very nicely. So he understood the bhava and he said that we can offer it to Krishna. I have never seen in my life, in ISKCON Adelaide, we have offered chocolate sweets to Krishna, but somehow or other, not maybe to Radha Shyam Sundar, but they accepted. So it shows their great open-mindedness. And when I was very new to temple, Yashoda Mata taught me many things. Like in Gujarati family, we have very few things to eat on Ekadashi. So I was just wondering, only these things? He said, no, all the vegetables. So now whenever I meet someone, I say, no, all the vegetables except of bhindi. But all the vegetables, and you can bake them and just put some salt and the pepper. That's what she said to me. And she also showed me that picture which has Krishna and his Gopa friends sitting. And then she asked me, do you know what he's doing? I said, yeah, the Gopa friends are giving Krishna some, like offering some bhoga to Krishna. He said, no. She said, no. He's eating remnants of the Gopas, and so they are sharing the food. So this is how we should be. So thank you so much. And please forgive me for all my offenses, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru, Jai Guru. It's Adi-Purusa Prabhu. Normally they say old is gold, but in his case, old is more than a platinum. Yes, some people say it and some people don't say it. So, some time back I was having a word with Adi-Purusa Prabhu. He said, yes, they will say, maybe on my Tirubhav Divas. Sorry, because the person is very natural, so I thought the tone should be natural, otherwise it mismatches. Yes, as Abhiram Prabhu has said, being a president is not easy in a small stipulated point of time itself, and Prabhu is saying that. So definitely there would be some truth in it, and also others have said it's not an easy position. But at the same time, if president's position is so hard and not so lucrative or not so attractive, then why people run behind it? So what I realize it is, Krishna likes many things. Krishna likes many qualities in a devotee. But one quality I remember and I cherish it, that Krishna doesn't like duplicit people. That means you say something and you do something else. So this one quality I like very much, and I try to follow that. And in following that, I always got impetus or acceleration from Adi-Purusa Prabhu, definitely as a Siksha Guru. 2016, when I came here, definitely a pure Indian middle class background. As today Aniruddha Prabhu was saying in the Bhagavatam class, the cultural differences in Australia as such and India going down, respecting, whereas here everything equal. Yes, he is totally correct that in fact if we see public transport where school-going children are there and the lady is standing and the old man is standing, the student doesn't get up. He feels that he has occupied the seat
or he has bought the metro card, so that seat belongs to him. But the background from where I came, it was not like that. If a old man is there or a pregnant lady is there, you offer the seat as such. So with that background, I came in 2016 ending. And yes, the temple was going on, and this is the first temple where I came as ISKCON temple. Otherwise, demigod worship and other natural aarti, tika, breaking the coconut, all these rituals were very normal for any middle class Indian family background guy. Yes, as I was telling in the initially, some people speak and some people doesn't speak, but there were many people who were speaking not so good or a bit here and there. And we were moving here and there. Then there was another impetus of Gaudiya and Ritvik coming here and also pulling. But what normally happens is, in Indian culture, there is something called maine namak khaya. That means I have tasted the salt of this house or so. And when you say maine namak khaya, you are very faithful to that house or that temple or that entity as such. So I got the taste of prasadam here. That means you have tasted the salt. So when you have tasted the salt, there is nothing that you will degrade or betray and go away or something like that. But having said that, there were a lot of talks here and there, it was happening. And then I started analyzing myself, and then I did a small course, basic disciple course, and it changed my mentality towards the institution as such. Because I liked one point there, because it gives the full history of ISKCON, how it started, how to treat Gaudiyas when they come here, Gaudiya Sampradaya as such, and why Ritvik are not Ritvik. As we see in current affairs also it happens, and even in my Bhakti Riksha I say, you have to be updated with your current affairs, because if somebody asks you what is this and what is not, you should be able to give some points, 5 points as they teach in basic disciple course, and definitely Anurudha Prabhu is here who takes classes on teachers training as well. So aspiring to be a his student at one point of time. So coming back to the point, we see that in the basic disciple course, they say that your bhakti depends upon 2 rails. It's like a train, and it depends upon 2 tracks. One is your spiritual authority, and another is your managerial authority, which I imbibed very deeply. Then I didn't started listening to here and there. Then I started following the managerial authority. That was the main thing, that even if my manager, even if my president is Hiranyakashipu, or Brahmana, or Kamsa, I don't bother now. Now it's ADI-PURUSA Prabhu who is the president. Now I'm going to listen to him, and him only. So that gave impetus, that gave a platform to stand and grab it. Otherwise, when you are duplicit, you say something and you grab something, then it's duplicit everywhere. So that gave the journey, a long journey, and from Markandeyu to Gauranga Das, that's the main part of it which happened. Now there are many incidents, there are many anecdotes which we can share here, but definitely research for 2-3 minutes everybody, so I'll cut short. But definitely I can say, when we say Bhagavatam classes, around 4.5 years, there is not even a single class I have missed of ADI-PURUSA Prabhu, but not sitting in the front bench with crossed legs. So whenever I get a chance of giving some class, definitely 1 or 2 times I give references from the classes what he has said. One of my favorite one which I'll share, his saying is, the power of knowledge and the sword of discrimination. So this helped me a lot, that people say in a different golden language and ornamental language, saying that sadhu sangha are in the association, you should be having association. This particular saying of his gives a platform for understanding, very nice for that. Second one which I learned from him is, first learn and then lead. So once you learn the tricks, when you learn the skills, then you can take it forward. Another incident, I remember that there was a cataract operation to ADI-PURUSA Prabhu, and I was sure that next 7 days or 5 days, I'll not have a call with him. And there were a lot of things in those days. I was in different types of operations, so I don't want to disturb him. But there were, I don't exactly remember, there was some written part he had to send me Or I think from his Bhagavatam class, I asked one question and which he has to give the references. So he gave me a video call and I can see there the movie that Pirates, Private Pirate, his eye was covered with one and he was writing and telling me. I said, Prabhu, you can take a break. You don't have to do this. But then he says, for Krishna, anything, even at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, he was ready for it. Same thing goes for, if we see his Guru Bhakti, because there are many dimensions, so I can't touch all the dimensions, but whoever is interested, what I learned from Adi-Purusa Prabhu here and there, I can share. One is his Guru Bhakti. By holding my hands, he has taught me that how to serve to your Guru, your spiritual master, and when he appreciates what should be your conduct, or when he hugs you because of your good things, what should be your position or posture inside. So I am also thankful in that respect. And one example of his Guru Bhakti, we can say, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. We were, as in one of the previous SB classes, I was saying that, yes, we have celebrated 25 years of temple, ISKCON Adelaide, but there is a small part which I witnessed also, that from that small room to come to this room, there is a big fundraising of 1 million. And I was a part of the team in raising it from a culinary point of view, from a cuisine culinary point. So I was step by step working with Adi-Purusa Prabhu and coordinating with him from cuisine to fundraising and other parts. So in that I was saying, we can see all the deities, but there is one more deity which we normally don't see with our naked eye. Anybody? One more deity is there. And there was a marathon for that deity. Mantra Prabhu was holding it and running behind that Adi-Purusa Prabhu was running. Yes, exactly. Ananda says, sometimes when I say Ananda says, he corrected me, Adi says. When I say Adi says, Ananda says, to confuse, but it's a Shesha only. So, particular that Shesha, history of it is been brought, and there was to happen a puja. After that puja, as per Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, which he learned from him, or he witnessed when he did it, it has to be there in the altar itself, that means in the ground level it has to be. But Mantra Prabhu was not knowing about it, and he was taking and going, and Adi-Purusa Prabhu as a child, he runs around and says, where is my Adi-Shesha, where is my Adi-Shesha? So I was just saying, Adi-Purusa is asking for Adi-Shesha, and they were running around. So, beautiful thing, he has to go into the ditch of say about 6 feet or so for making the ceremony, and after that 18 days he was bedridden. So these are small things. Or when he used to come to all the Mangalartis, and with Mangalarti he used to come, he attends everything and he used to keep everything fine. After his open heart surgery, then he stopped not coming here. Otherwise, that was also inspiration that at the age of so ripe age, people can come for Mangalarti as well. Third thing, with this, I will definitely stop. Raja Guru is seeing me like this. He is also my Shiksha Guru. So I learn from him and he can chastise me anytime. So here what happens is, as I was saying in 2016, when you come here and people will talk many things, Adi-Purusa is this, Adi-Purusa is that. I used to hear, some used to do, some not. But then Krishna has given us buddhi also, some intelligence, so we can use that also. So when I used and I found that a man is not just a man as an individual, we have to see from peripherals also. In the 21st century, in the Australian culture, or within bracket Western culture, a son is keeping his parents inside his house, under the same roof, 3 generations are living. Which tells me, Adi-Purusa Prabhu lives, his son Sadananda Prabhu lives, his grandsons and daughters also live on the same roof, and Sadananda Prabhu has not put Adi-Purusa Prabhu in the aged care or old care wherever. So I think there will be something.
All the money is in his name.
So that is the secret. That is the secret. So I was I mean, bit attached to this type of family where they have, then I used to tell my wife also, like, if we get a daughter-in-law, it should be like Yashoda Sati Mataji, who says, yes sir, yes sir to the father-in-law. If we have a son, it should be Sadan Prabhu. At least he will not put us in aged care or old care. So that was one main attraction for me, that Adi-PURUSA Prabhu, not only as a Siksha Guru to some spiritual aspects we can see, from a personal side, from a personal perspective also we can see that how he raised. This is the fourth generation. First I used to think it's the third generation, which is in ISKCON, Prudu and Tungavidya and Varshana Radhi and Anu. They are the third generation I used to think, but no, Prabhu corrected me, like he made his father and mother also to get initiated. So this is the fourth generation who are in our Parampara and Sampradaya. So definitely that is a path, because we all learn from one another, and definitely the seniors are who are elder in age, we learn from them. So definitely, I will not say thank you Prabhuji and all the things, because I am not leaving you. You are just a phone call away from us. And definitely the Srimad Bhagavatam classes, as I said, I never missed a single class. Only one in festival I missed because I had to be in the kitchen. Otherwise, first bench, or you say first mat and first position with crossed leg, I have attended everything. And each word what he says, each sentences what he says was making sense. Yeah, definitely, we can say many things. Like, if we have a banana, we should be knowing which part we should be putting in the mouth and which part we should be putting in the dustbin. So there are some dustbin elements, I will not deny that fact. So I put those in the dustbin, and those which I wanted, I write and go. So I know, people say you are copying Adi-PURUSA Prabhu. People say that you are acting like Adi-PURUSA Prabhu just by seeing my pen and one paper here, because he also carries like that. But this also I learned from him, that if you get a good point in any SB class, you can write down, you can contemplate it, you can research on it, and you can use it in your own class. So Prabhuji, I take here the lead, but definitely I'll be in contact with you. Lots and lots to be known from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the Bhagavatam class. Change of circumstances, Prabhu's probably taken most of the time. Each of you get only 1 minute. No, so I call upon Sumedha Mataji to come.
Hare Krishna to all of you. All goes to Srila Prabhupada, Shyam Sundar, Vishwadev, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. What should I say about Adi-PURUSA? I remember when first time Adi-PURUSA came here, there were so many problems and problems and problems. So, and how he tackled it in Hindi, we say, एक नाव को आपने उसमें से मझधार में से निकाल के किनारे पे ला दिया. So that's how I translate it. Just like a sinking boat was there, you have dragged it and put it on the shore. So that's how he worked hard. And today what we are seeing, this is just only his efforts. And I remember when we purchased the next property here. And although temple was in debt, but Adi-PURUSA was so adamant, he said, no, any cost we have to purchase that. Because we don't want to miss this property. If it goes today, tomorrow we won't get it. So that was really, So I really appreciate it, because as Prabhu was saying, I won't take much time because already Prabhu has taken so much time. As Prabhu was saying that in India, we are so confused, this is God, that is God, everything is God. So when I came in Australia, same was with me. So under the guidance of Mataji and Adi-PURUSA, they just gave a shine to a rock, like we have a rock, or we have a mud, then we give proper shape. So it's just like, he was just like my father and just like our spiritual guidance every time. I think I am the only one student who used to attend this class every single day, and which is helping me today when I give class, and I really, most of my stories, and 90% sometimes I don't get much time because of my so much, liability, family liabilities and responsibilities. So sometimes I have to give class without preparation, and only if it is possible, it is only because of him, because I have been listening to his classes, and most of the stories which I tell in class today, they are all from what I have heard from Prabhu. And the commitment, I really, at this age also, it's really unbelievable.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Sorry for being emotional. That's my problem. I sometimes become so emotional. And one thing I learned from Mataji, how you should speak less, and do more. That is the best quality which I have in this temple. If I have seen in any lady, she's Mataji. Always she used to be always silent, not talking to anyone, but doing her service with such a dedication. So thank you, Mataji, for your service. And thank you, Prabhuji, for all what you have given to me daily. Whatever I have learned in spiritually advancement, it's only because all the credit goes to you, Prabhuji. What I have learned and what I know today, spiritually, it's only because of them. So thank you, Prabhu. And many times I might have, because I find sometimes, Prabhu, I used to tell him, you are just like my father, you have done this thing wrong. So I would always tell, so if I have offended you any time, please forgive Mataji and Prabhuji. So please bless me that I should serve always Radha Shyam Sundar as I have. So I won't take much time. Thank you.
And please ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come forward and present the youth of Adelaide.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, for my dress I have to go overcome. Om Agyantimidasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmitanya Tasmaya Shri. Thank you all seniors for giving this opportunity to glorify our seniors. For me, I have a very mixed emotion with Prabhu, like a grandfather. Yeah. So I can start how. So first I was in Melbourne. Me and Girish Prabhu was living in a Bhakt Bhavan, Unit 6, and Giri Govardhan now. So he came to Adelaide. I moved to Murulumba. I was traveling then. I got stuck because of COVID. So then he told, he was coming from India, told, why don't you come Adelaide? You should start something here. I told, the circumstance making me to come, I think. So I came here and I see every temple has different food. Like in Murulumba, when you open, preach, anybody, anywhere. Here I came, so I saw different congregations, different things, and learning different things. So what I feel is, when I was going through, I see everybody there, how they're doing. So few things which I felt in Prabhu. First is like, for the first meeting I had with Prabhu in the Govindas, Prabhu asked me what service you can do. So I told counseling. So he told, whom you want to counsel here? So that's a good point. So then slowly then Girish told, we should start something in books or something. So slowly we tried our best in last 3 years by the desire and in Giri Govardhan too. There's huge programs happening. And then we were regular in Prabhu's Bhagavatam class. So Prabhu's Bhagavatam class is very famous. Whoever comes, the big thing which I like is and admire is the Siddhanta. Prabhu's Siddhanta is very strong. and he teaches everything actually in Bhagavatam class, like Vaishnava etiquettes, how to meet your guru, even how to talk to your guru, how not let your guru take you sides. So many things he teaches, like all the Siddhanta's teaching in that. So that's I admire. And even we started Srimad Bhagavatam class for the youth group. Like every week he summarized a chapter. Last 2 classes were like mind blowing. We didn't see the time. It was 9:30. Even the groups youth don't want to stop. So everyone was like glued to it. So it was really amazing quality. Other thing which I see is Prabhu has this preaching spirit. Even he is very old, but he's very up to date with all the trends, what's happening, and he connects with the philosophy. That's not rare, because last time I gave class, the audience was not know what is mega versus woke. So in Prabhu's and other thing is Prabhu's guru tattva, like how close to his guru, and in that he was strong here in taking care of this temple along with Abhiram Prabhu as a team. They did a lot for us. They're caring for all the services like book distribution for us, but we are limited because of work and everything. So, and lastly, which is my favorite, I don't know, I told many times, which I like. Prabhu is the only one, he initiated dance in Kirtan. You see many young people, they just stand like this, maybe like hangover with Instagram or something. But Prabhu is like, come on. He does like literally like, come on, dance. So thank you Prabhu, teaching all these qualities for us, and we'll try our best to share with the youth program and all this thing. Hare Krishna.
Please invite Padmini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I am very good at welcoming people. I love welcoming. Running and getting some prasad for any new devotee that comes, or someone that I know. I hide farewells. I hide to say goodbye, and my family knows that I hide airports, because I know that when we go to airport, we welcome people as well, but my mentality is going to airport is saying bye, and I don't like saying bye. So, but we are a community here, and you are still in Adelaide, so I'm not saying goodbye. But Prabhu and Mataji take this opportunity, as Anand Krishna Prabhu has said, that we started meeting the same time as in Adelaide. We came as neophytes, still neophytes. We were exposed to Hare Krishnas in Fiji a bit, but once again we used to go just for festivals and weddings, etc. Here we came, and it's all Shri Radha Shamsundar's mercy and Srila Prabhupada's mercy and our Guru Maharaj's mercy that we just loved saving. Somehow we were just saving. Like I could see Anand Krishna Prabhu running after Sunday feast, washing the tables and everything. Sadananda Prabhu used to say, look at your Prabhu, he's washing tables. And I used to go and do chapati. Somehow I was exposed to chapati, again, Lordship's mercy. And nothing, we did not know anything about initiation, or we were far away from initiation. Not even thinking of that, we were just doing service, which we loved. Then somehow one day, Shamananda Prabhu, our Siksha Guru, invited us for a trip to India. And I said, India, we've never been to India because we're from Fiji. And oh, that sounds interesting. We go and meet our Guru Maharaj as well. And then after we had made our first trip to India, we started getting a bit serious, attending Bhagavad Gita classes, Bhagavatam, and then getting exposed to more Hare Krishna lifestyle. Then Grace Adipurusa Prabhu had noticed that we had been doing service, and came time for initiation. He said, he encouraged us so much, and I still remember your words, Prabhu said, I am going to hold your hand and Anand Krishna Prabhu's hand, I was Anand Prabhu that time, and take you to your Guru and tell him, whichever Guru you choose, I'm going to hold your hands and share that, recommend you for initiation. And so that was good that we got initiated. And then once again, I remember still we ran short of a bit of pujaris, and then you rang us, and then Yashoda Mataji was there, and Anand Krishna Prabhu, and then he said, now you guys, and then you recommended us for Brahman initiation, but we hadn't been to, I hadn't personally been to the altar. Thank you for recommending that again, Prabhu, and said, tomorrow you rang us and said, tomorrow you are going to join Yashoda Mataji and jump into the altar and learn. So just in the deep end. Mataji, thank you for your encouragement always, telling me how to look after my daughters. Yes, Prabhu, and then I still remember in the class, once I put my hand up and I said, how do we reach Vaikuntha? What, you were talking something about reaching Vaikuntha, and you said, you Mataji, don't worry, you keep making chapatis and you'll go to Vaikuntha. So yeah, those are good times. Remember, and our dream come true when you had organized the youth programs. We have always been talking about that, and we can see the congregation explode, and lots of youngsters coming and taking up services, going to retreats, etc., which was very encouraging to see. Without taking much time, wish you all the best in your spiritual life. Happy retirement. And if I've done any offenses, please forgive me. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
There's been a lot of mention of Prabhu's Bhagavatam class. There is not a single Bhagavatam class without Prabhu mentioning this person's name, and that person is Kalyan. Please come forward.
I promise I won't take as long as that. In my opinion, I think Adi-PURUSA is a type of leader that comes down from the pedestal and actually stands by your side and helps do the work. The instance that I'm talking about is the fundraising for this temple hall. Dad would make different types of faludas and other foodstuffs, and Prabhu would try each one and tweak them around to make them the best possible. They would spend countless hours on the phone thinking about each step in terms of pleasing the guests and devotees. Another time I saw Prabhu sweat in the kitchen making Malaysian fried rice on a specific festival. This was when I realized Prabhu was more than just a leader. People often say that you only realize the value of something once it's gone. And I truly felt this when Prabhu halted his Sunday classes. That's when I realized just how important those sessions were to me. He would always use me as an example, and his usual excuse was, at least he won't write a letter about me. He would also taunt my school, St. Peter's, and explain the differences and similarities about Christianity and Krishna consciousness. He would explain to me in a way that was understandable to me, and I would start to appreciate Krishna consciousness even more. Adi-PURUSA is something more than just a devotee to me. He is a grandfather. His Grace Adi-PURUSA ki Jai.
Truly appreciate Kalyan. In this case, we can say, like father, not like son. We're running out of time. I profusely apologize for those who actually want to speak and can't make it. If you really want to glorify Adi-PURUSA, please give him a call and we can glorify. I didn't want to finish this without me saying something, so with your permission. Now, the easiest thing for me to say is ditto to everybody. Everyone's covered everything which I wanted to say, but something which I reflected this morning is our first meeting, which I'm not sure if you remember, was actually chastisement. So I was just coming into the temple, and Prabhu was standing with my mentor, my Siksha Guru. Shaligram Prabhu, I forget his name. Shaligram Prabhu. So Shaligram Prabhu introduced me to Adi-PURUSA Prabhu, and my Karmi name was Raja Gopal. And Prabhu asked, "Are you coming to temple often?" I nodded and I said, "No." The first chastisement I received was, "Your name represents Krishna. Why aren't you coming to temple? You should come to temple often." So that was very important for me because I was procrastinating, I wasn't sure where I should be going. And that instruction was a direct instruction, and I quite liked it. What really moved after that, because I wasn't doing a lot of service, I was still procrastinating, but for me the defining moment in my spiritual career, or my spiritual journey rather, is for, I don't know, for whatever reason, you gave me the big picture of Radha Shamsundar. And I thought I never deserved it, but you gave it to me. You gave one to Shaligram Prabhu, you gave one to me. And I reflected and I thought I don't deserve it, but Prabhu gave me, so I'll take this process very seriously. So that was probably the defining moment of my spiritual journey, and thanks to you for helping me with that. Everyone talked about Prabhu's classes, obviously very unique, new dimension in this class. Being a doctor, a student of sciences, Prabhu bridges between human psychology, other religions, history, geography, science, with spiritual subject matters, which we never get to hear from other normal speakers. So very unique. We get to hear something just beyond just spiritual subject matters. And there's a lot of takeaway points in every class he gave, so we do miss a lot. One of the key points which I always carry with me is devotion service is not a privilege which we should.
All together, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, before I get into my glorification of Adi-PURUSA Krishna and family, Ganesham Prabhu actually sent me something to read out here. For those who don't know, Ganesham is one of the leaders in our North Sydney temple and dynamic leader over there. So this is what he has written for, and he wanted me to read out to share here in this assembly. Dear Adi-PURUSA Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I very much wish to be there in Adelaide today. Due to pressing commitments in Sydney, I couldn't. So I'm sending this message through Mathura Manohar Prabhu. His Holiness Sivaram Swami Maharaj was once sharing that an ideal leader should be a good manager and an exemplary sadhaka. And it is so difficult to find leaders in spiritual societies having both the traits. We are very fortunate to have you possessing the qualities of both as a wonderful manager and an exemplary sadhaka. At an age when most would have sought their permanent retirement to holy dhams like Mayapur or Vrindavan, you took up the mammoth service of serving the Adelaide Yatra, the holy dham of Sri Sri Radha Shamsundar. What we saw after your arrival was an incredible inspiration for the next generations. Being ably and resourcefully supported by His Grace Abhiram Nityananda Prabhu, during your tenure, the congregation grew by leaps and bounds. Opulence and service of their lordships increased, especially with the new deity department and temple hall. And the attendance for temple events like Sunday feasts and festivals went to the next higher level. You have demonstrated to us the kind of surrender and dedication the disciples of Srila Prabhupada had done since the mid-60s. You have indeed expanded the preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are a father figure not only to Adelaide Yatra, but also to the leaders in other yatras. You have always extended yourself with providing whatever help others sought from you. You have set some very high standards for the current and the future leaders in ISKCON. You are a tough act to follow. As Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj benevolently smile upon you, we humbly beg you to please bless us, that we follow in your footsteps and expand the preaching mission of Lord Gauranga in every nook and corner of not only Adelaide, but the entire South Australia. All glories to you, all glories to your incredible services to Sri Sri Radha Shamashundar, begging to remain your servant, Ganesham Govindadas. Now my turn. How long have I got?
Half an hour.
All right. First, I have to apologize because this event is actually taking place quite delayed. ADI-PURUSA Prabhu, he actually retired from services as the temple president more than a couple of months ago. And at the AGM, national AGM, which we held 3rd of May in Murbalamba, New Government, Abhiram Prabhu was there, so he and I started talking and said, we have to actually, and even with Sitaram Prabhu, we had a discussion, we thought we need to actually glorify him. But then Abhiram Prabhu said, is Abhiram here?
Yes, he's here.
Right.
Satan.
Ah, you didn't? So Abhiram Prabhu said, no, ADI-PURUSA Prabhu actually does not want any of these events. He said, just leave it be. I said, no, and Sitaram Prabhu agreed. It's only proper that we actually do something to recognize his contribution. So we then started looking at our diaries. 3 of us, we couldn't bring a date sooner than that 3rd of May, close to that date. So this was the earliest slot that we could get, and here we are. So I apologize if it's been a long gap from then till now. That's one thing. And for me to get here today, this morning, there was a bit of a drama. So after fixing the date, booked my air ticket and all that, and happily drove to the airport this morning, looked at the board, it said that flight to Adelaide cancelled. Hare Krishna. And what do? Right? Of all the many trips that I've made to Adelaide previously, this was one trip I really wanted to make. And Krishna tested me by cancelling the flight to get to Adelaide. Again, through Krishna and Guru's mercy, quickly I went to the airline help desk and I said, what can we do here? They said, we can't help you. Customer service. Jetstar. So then Virgin Australia came to the rescue. He quickly went online, there was another flight, booked it, and here I am. Now, before I start glorifying ADI-PURUSA Prabhu, I'm actually standing here in a very unique position. Why? Because I've got several exalted personalities here who I am indebted to in my own spiritual journey. Start with I've got Aniruddha Prabhu, Achintya Rupa Mataji, because I'm based in Melbourne. And for many decades now, they have been guiding me, they're still guiding me. Sitaram Prabhu too, early years. And I'll tell you the story. Of course, ADI-PURUSA Prabhu, needless to mention. Satyananda Prabhu, I can't also leave him out, and I'll tell you the story of what I mean by that. July 2002, actually I'm from Malaysia, me and my family at that time when we just got into ISKCON in Malaysia and we said, all right, we need to move to Australia permanently. So we were asking devotees over there if we want to land in Australia, which temple should we go to? Everybody over there said Melbourne, Melbourne, Melbourne. And I had not set foot in Melbourne at that time. We're talking about 2002. So then, when I said to the devotees back in Malaysia, I don't know anyone in Melbourne, how do I make this arrangement? I wrote to even Aniruddha Prabhu and introduced myself. I'm not sure if he remembers that. Maybe you do. Anyway, so I just introduced, I didn't ask for anything more. But what happened was, ADI-PURUSA Prabhu, who was in Malaysia at that time, through his network with devotees in Malaysia, made arrangements for me to land in Melbourne and be taken care of. So, the first person who meets me in Melbourne drives up in a green BMW. Satananda. And the first person who takes me to the Melbourne temple is Satananda. Alright? So that was my first visit to Melbourne temple way back in 2002. And in fact, it was July 2002 that we finally packed up, landed in Melbourne. And from the time we landed in Melbourne, we were under the guidance of Aniruddha Prabhu and Achintya Rupa Mataji. I am truly blessed. It's been a wonderful journey. It still is a wonderful journey being based in Melbourne. But I'm also blessed that I got the privilege to get the association of ADI-PURUSA Prabhu and his family. ADI-PURUSA was based in Melbourne there at that time too when I landed. While Aniruddha Prabhu and Achintya Rupa, they were like guiding us from the temple perspective as a congregation family and engaging us in various services. ADI-PURUSA Prabhu and family became like our extended family in Melbourne, because when I landed with my family, there was nobody else. We were just me, my wife, and 2 young kids. So they became our extended family, and it became at least from my perspective, it became a very intimate relationship where I would get, we heard earlier about the Guru Tattva taste, the mode of service. Prabhu imbibed in me how we should actually serve Guru, how we should actually serve, do service selflessly, and valuable lessons. While that intimate lessons came to me, the putting into practice the opportunity in Melbourne environment was provided by Aniruddha Prabhu and Achintya Mataji. So it gave me the avenues to actually display what he was teaching me from behind the scenes, who ADI-PURUSA Prabhu. And so the relationship with ADI-PURUSA Prabhu and family is a multi-layered one, at least in my case. One, I see him as a father figure. Probably that's an offense to him because I'm not that much young compared to him. My father passed away, left his body when I was 11 years old. I grew up pretty much without having a father figure to actually learn from. But when I landed in Melbourne, he sort of filled that void to an extent in my family, guiding us in the journey of spiritual development. And it was at an intimate level, more like how a father who's like a Shiksha Guru normally is like teaching a son how to do things. Here he was giving us intimate knowledge. And at the same time, Lokanandri Mataji was also guiding my wife from behind the scenes in a very intimate way. So eventually we got the good fortune, again through temple management, through the guidance of this family, we got the mercy of taking initiation, and we were taken to the lotus feet of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. The journey from there became even more sweeter. And as it became sweeter, ADI-PURUSA Prabhu further imbibed from a very personal perspective as to how that sweetness should be not only tasted, but served. First serve Guru, that's his, and he is always there, he's like, always do something for Krishna. And as, I do not know what I did right or wrong, but more services, more responsibilities came to me in ISKCON from the early years of, I'm talking about early 2000s. Anilda Prabhu engaged me in more services. He sort of took me to higher levels of management. He brought me into Melbourne Temple management and then took me to national management as a national treasurer, guided me to be a member of the national executive. So while that was all happening, every step of the way, there was this family, ADI-PURUSA family, who were guiding us also. And that at the core of it all was keep that mood of service. Remember Srila Prabhupada's mood in mission, it's not about you, Mathura Manohar, it's about pleasing Guru and Krishna. Always do something to please Guru and Krishna. Selfless service. That was drilled into me. Strangely, in February 2007, he arranged for Shaligram Sheila to actually enter my life where we did home worship. Mercifully, 3 months later, Achintya Rupa Mataji, being in charge of data department in 2007, started engaging me in Shaligram Puja on the altar in Melbourne Temple. A service which I'm still trying to do to this day. And for that, I must thank you. That's a service that is very dear to me and is very, very, it gives me sense for the stress that I go through. Every Saturday mornings when I'm on the altar doing that service, life becomes meaningful to me. So, as I said, I'm in a very unique position here today, not just glorifying one individual and his family, ADI-PURUSA Krishna. I've got personalities who are guiding me through my journey, my family's journey. Then, as I said, where he became like a father figure to me, there was a twist. The twist was where they made me a management committee member here in Adelaide, where now the father figure is also in the same committee, I'm there, and the so-called Shishya is now suddenly playing a role where I have to give instructions to him. I was scratching my head how to do that. But I remember many years ago when I had this conundrum in doing my national treasury service at the national level. I was serving many exalted personalities more senior than me, and I was feeling awkward in the early days. I went to my spiritual master and I said, look, I've got this situation where I'm just a young kid around the block, and it's like I'm serving all these exalted personalities, but I got to do certain things right here because national treasury service means certain things need to be corrected. How do I do this? I felt very uncomfortable within my heart. I couldn't reconcile it. A young junior, a young punk, so to speak, trying to give instructions to senior personalities. My guru gave a very simple one-sentence answer. In fact, it was a 3-word answer. Do your duty. Took it on, and I had to clash in that approach with certain senior personalities in doing my national treasury service. Similarly, in the Adelaide Management Committee service, there were flashpoints where the Shishya is now suddenly making a stand with the Guru. Right? But we found a level. So that is another layer where, and here's the thing about ADI-PURUSA Krishna. He obeys authority. He saw me there not as his shishya or a student. He saw me there as a person who has been given this responsibility and a position where I had to do my duty. And he wore that hat accordingly, time, place, circumstances. When we sat around a meeting table, he knew that there was this position that he needed to respect and give obedience to. And at the same time, when the meeting ended, roles reversed. I ended up being the shishya again to him. So, father figure, manager role, and a tough one sometimes where you've got to change hats. But the journey is sweet, has been sweet so far. Especially his spiritual guidance for me and my family. That's still continuing. His achievements, there are many. We heard a few devotees earlier talk about the house next door. So being the national treasurer, I had to work with him as to how to broker the finance deal and all that. We bought the house for 400,000? 420. That was about 13 years ago, I think. Guess today's value, how much is it?
It's next door to the house.
Today's valuation, we did the valuation a few months ago, 1 million.
You could sell it for more.
Yes. Okay. It's got development opportunity. Where's the new temple president? Right. So, and at that time it wasn't easy. We are talking about, so backtrack a little bit. I was in Melbourne, Prabhu was in Melbourne, and then time came where he took up that service to be the Adelaide temple president. He and his family moved over here. And rough journey, early days for him were very rough. I remember him telling me he had to literally come here and throw out the garbage, literally. Okay? There were rooms full of garbage. Am I right?
Unfortunately.
Yes. At that age, he wasn't that much young at that time, 15 years ago. He had to do it. Rolled up his sleeves, threw out the garbage. And there was no money in the bank. Right? But he was financially astute. Being a doctor, he took on work as a GP in a clinic somewhere. The money that he made there by working in the clinic, he put it into the temple. He didn't earn the money for himself. He sacrificed his time and energy. While being a temple president, he went to work in the evenings to the clinics, right? Came back with that money, and the money was put back into the temple to somehow get the temple finances going where these operations could be stabilized. And not only that, I remember he actually appealed to the national body when we had one of our AGMs where he said, look, Adelaide is in financial difficulties. He said, I'm not asking for free money, lend some money and I'll pay it back from Adelaide's coffers when the finances are stable. I can't remember, did he give you the money? Did you get it?
First meeting, you were not there. The first meeting with ADI-PURUSA and Prabhu's help, we got 120,000.
Right.
National.
So,
not KP.
yeah, loan?
No, that was
free money. Okay, right. So that assistance came. But then slowly but surely he started stabilizing the financial situation here while being the temple president, managing it astutely, where slowly the finances improved. And what Aniruddha Prabhu mentioned earlier, there was a $400,000 loan on not this building but the rest of the temple complex because of fire safety regulation requirements which had to be complied with. They came and said, you've got to do all this or we're shutting down. And about 400,000 loan had to be taken. he ended up being the temple president. That fell on his head. He took on that liability and worked many years with the team. Of course, the team came on board. And at that time, Abhiram Prabhu came on board as the treasurer. And I must say, he is truly capable in that area too. He gave very strong, good support to ADI-PURUSA Prabhu. And that started turning around. Not only that, then when we bought the house, we got more creative. While we took a loan from, so we have that first loan for that building, then we took another loan for the house. So there was like anxiety, how are you going to pay all this off? Then we got creative, we got the money from Westpac, and then we got some internal refinancing done, where we went to Pratapana Prabhu in Sydney, got that heavily discounted. We were paying 5,000 a month for many years. And we paid that off when, Abhiram Prabhu, just a few months ago? February. Okay. So today, Adelaide Temple is debt-free, no debts. Not only that, we are here sitting in this nice big hall, fundraising. So he led the fundraising, and we heard a little bit from Rasaraj Prabhu just now about him leading the fundraising, and then Abhiram Prabhu was the treasurer, ADI-PURUSA Prabhu was leading from the front, the fundraising project and all that. At that time, after clearing all the debt, Adelaide bank account had 400,000. And through the fundraising, another close to $1 million came in. Abhiram, is that right? Close to?
1.05.
Yeah. So that gave the confidence to actually start the project. And of course, we know Abhiram Prabhu took on that project management role. And he's done a wonderful job, as we can see here. Under the leadership of ADI-PURUSA Krishna Prabhu. So, even today, this hall has been paid off, no loans pretty much. So, from the early days, 15 years ago, where ADI-PURUSA Prabhu came to actually literally throw out garbage, today he has handed over to Abhiram Prabhu a debt-free temple with money in the bank, with a wonderful infrastructure hall like this. It's been a tough journey, but as we heard earlier, his strong desire, he has often told me, always do something to please Krishna. And that runs very deep in his heart, as we can see the tough journey that he has gone through to actually make this all manifest. So today, it is not about thanking ADI-PURUSA Krishna for what he has achieved for this temple. While his management leadership chapter has closed as the temple president, today I think it's an opportunity for us to start acknowledging that it's the beginning of we recognizing him as a Vaishnava in the community. As we say, as Aniruddha Prabhu said earlier, we are growing old, and as we grow old, appropriate services need to be taken up. So, management services has closed for him. But not that he was only a Vaishnava today, no. It's always been there. But it's that Vaishnava quality display opportunity now becomes even more in the forefront. Adelaide community can see him in two ways. One, as an ex-temple president and recognize him for his past achievements. Or two, recognize him for the Vaishnava that he is and take advantage of his Vaishnava qualities for us to develop in our own journey into the future. Right? So, I'm indebted to him. My family is indebted to him. And when I say indebted to him, we are indebted to him and his family. They've got a connection with Guru, which is very, very special, which they don't talk about. But I get to hear it from them from very intimate sources. Satananda Prabhu, Adi-Purusa Prabhu, they've got very, very close relationship with His Holiness Jayapataka Goswami Maharaj. Now it's very hard to actually get Maharaj's association. He's got, from what I heard, he's got more than 100,000 disciples now. Right? Not that numbers matter, but that's His mercy, His mood. And it's hard for disciples to get close to Guru. But we get news about the intimate happenings in Guru's life through Satananda Prabhu, through Adi-Purusa Prabhu. They've got a special sweet ras, a relationship with Guru where many of us can only dream or aspire to. Priti too, forgetting her. The whole family. I mean, where can we get Guru who is overseas and then telling his disciple here, Satananda Prabhu, I'm going to America on preaching mission, I want to see you there. It's a personal invitation from Guru. For that kind of invitation to come from Guru means there is a very sweet, special relationship. That doesn't come with all of us. We don't get that kind of opportunity. So, I don't know if you'll see it, but I see them as very special family. 4 generations of devotees, yes. But more than that, it's about the sambandha with Guru. And the lessons that I get from there, to me, is life enriching. Very, very life enriching, and it's a treasure that I will always, always carry with me for the rest of my life. And I can only pray that they can continue to share these nuggets of treasures with all of you here in this Adelaide community. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. That was very heartfelt glorification. Now, the most important part of the event today, of the program, I finally call upon His Grace Adi-Purusa Prabhu to come forward. Before he comes, I'll just make a quick.
You want to speak then after she and then me?
So I call upon Her Grace Lokani Mataji. Quick introduction. Senior disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Goswami Maharaj. Joined ISKCON in 1986 and initiated in 1990. Mataji is a doctor by profession and has served several sannyasis as a personal doctor. And along with Prabhu, she's also served the ISKCON Malaysia for very, many years. So please welcome Her Grace Lokani Mataji.
For the last 10 years, but today I felt like saying something. So please don't get bored with me. I am speaking to share some reflections and humble requests regarding the temple's journey over the years. I still remember vividly when we first arrived at the temple. It was overgrown like a jungle with tall grass surrounding the area. Part of the front fence had been torn down and discarded, and offerings to the deities were limited at times to even canned beans. It was a period of great struggle. We were both having comfortable jobs in Melbourne, but were happy to make the move to Adelaide, considering it our calling. We took up jobs after hours and dedicated our days of serving at the temple. Prabhu dug in straight away and dedicated himself wholeheartedly to the responsibilities entrusted to him. He was consistently striving to go above and beyond expectations, which contributed to the growth and success of the temple. A substantial amount of our incomes were donated to the temple to help settle the temple's debts and supporting its development. Our joint efforts continued for 15 years. However, I must express my disappointment regarding the lack of recognition of his contributions during his tenure here. We have always valued teamwork and humility, but during the 25th anniversary celebration of the temple property, Prabhu was not given an opportunity to speak, and no acknowledgement was made of his early years of hardship and service. All past major improvements and grand festivals were once recorded on the temple's website. Later, when the process of developing the site was undertaken by Abhiram Prabhu, all previous records documenting those years of effort were permanently deleted. It is also worth noting that Prabhu trained Abhiram Prabhu sincerely and handed over responsibilities with full trust. While it is commendable that the construction of the new temple hall was taken by Abhiram Prabhu, and we sincerely appreciate his dedication, the situation was becoming increasingly difficult for Prabhu to continue sharing his knowledge and service. We understand that new systems are in place, but we kindly request that Abhiram Prabhu consider allotting Prabhu more preaching opportunities, particularly on weekends and during festival programs. A lot of devotees have approached us requesting this. Throughout our tenure, we were subjected to constant taunts and false allegations. Though Prabhu was able to handle them, it was difficult for me to handle the slander and smear campaigns. We wish Abhiram Prabhu and the temple all success in its future growth. May the temple flourish and continue to serve the community, and the devotees worship the deities with devotion and grace. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Finally, I call upon His Grace ADI-PURUSA, former temple president, co-TP since 2010, serving in that capacity for 15 years. His Grace ADI-PURUSA Prabhu, also known as Dr. Krishnan in the outside world, is a retired family physician, has been with ISKCON for the last 37 years. He was given spiritual initiation by His Holiness Japatka Swami Maharaj in 1990. Prabhu has served in ISKCON Malaysia for a long time, helped to build a temple in one of the major cities in the country. He then moved to Australia and then served at ISKCON Melbourne for almost 10 years, after which he relocated to manage ISKCON Adelaide, as we heard before. During his tenure as a TP and co-TP of Adelaide, amongst many other services, he oversaw the temple preaching activities and rebuilding the congregation, and was instrumental in construction of the new temple, where we stand here today. Please welcome His Grace ADI-PURUSA.
Hare Krishna. Relax, everybody. Let's have some fun. Actually, when they told me about this travel appreciation gathering, I said, why waste time? I'd rather give a Bhagavatam class or a Bhagavad Gita class. But they insisted and agreed. So, a few days ago, I went for a haircut for the occasion. And the lady barber, I was a lady barber. One more letter, lady barber. So, and She told me that, what are you doing? I said, I'm a retired doctor. I said, you're too young. Oh, you're too young. She's an Asian. So if I'm young for the Karmi world, I should be young for the spiritual world or the spiritual society. So jokes aside, there were so many compliments going on, and some of the things the young people may be thinking, then if everything is going so nicely, why the farewell? Isn't it? So some things have to be said, recorded for you, for your future. The nuances of practicing Krishna consciousness in our society. So, the good thing is, when I look at the past, my predecessors, they were all unceremoniously discharged. At least I'm so lucky. Garlanded smiles, everybody's happy I'm going away. So, and even the Prabhu himself was there involved in the previous management, where the police he didn't summon the police, somebody else summoned the police, and the management has to be escorted away from the temple. Anyway, this is the difficulty in management. So, as Vaishnavas, we thought to be humble, we have to think ourselves lower than this grass in the street or straw in the street. But sometimes, my teacher told me, my teacher, sometimes in ISKCON, you have to blow your own trumpet. In Adelaide, somebody has taken away the trumpet, even if you want to blow, trumpet is gone. But look, there were a lot of glorification, it's not that. But some highlights in my career, I would like to inform for the future, again for the future. Like what Lokanandani said, I was very disappointed. We had the 26th anniversary celebrations 2 weeks ago. So many people spoke, and I've been almost 15 to 16 years as the president. And it was the purchase of ISKCON Adelaide, 25th anniversary of the purchase of ISKCON Adelaide. And my first impression about the thing was, there was a lot of bad news. Everybody's giving bad news. And then, secondly, they were talking about making millions of dollars. We collected millions of dollars. Hari Baba, where is the millions of dollars? And they said they bought this building at a discounted rate of $200,000. When I came here, the mortgage was, the servicing of the mortgage was not done. And it was standing at $350,000. Plus what Prabhu said, the 5 roofing was another $400,000. So it's $750,000. So, and whatever anybody is saying, and I was thinking why I'm not given a chance to say anything. So just a small disappointment there. When we first landed here, I'll make it brief, only the salient points. 3 sannyasis, and some senior devotees told me, don't go to Adelaide. I can name them. In fact, one sannyasi told me, Adelaide Hills full of fossils. Those fossils, they somehow or other corrupt the minds of everybody. So, it is not that when I decided to come, that, the famous saying, fools rush in, where angels fear to tread. It is not one of those things. It is not just foolishly, in spite of all that. I will wait. They say wait. I am sure everybody can hear it. So it is not fools rush in where angels fear to tread. I knew what I was getting into. I know it was difficult. And, but I always like challenges. Whenever there are challenges, that makes, you're a soldier of Krishna, you're a soldier of Prabhupada. You're not doing it for your own good, for your own personal satisfaction. So, and my Guru Maharaj used to say, like temple, because I've been a temple president in Malaysia. So he says that it's a thankless job. Prabhu will understand that. No matter your job is to please everybody. Is it possible to please everybody? No, it's just impossible. But knowing fully well that you'll be criticized heavily and all that, you still take up the job. Why? To please Prabhupada and to please Krishna. It is not to come and enjoy the position. It's not like that. Anyway, moving on. When I landed, of course, you all said that the temple was bankrupt, drowning in debt, morale was very low, and many people were circling around. I wrote here vultures, but I wouldn't say that. Prabhu might not know. So many people were trying to take over management, but they are not qualified. And anyway, so I called up for a meeting. Immediately I called up for a meeting. And the first thing they told me was to vamoose as quickly as I had come. Just get out, you know. That was my first meeting. So I was like literally in hostile territories, Wild West. We had the meeting upstairs. Now, those who helped me in the beginning, I must say that is one of the reasons. Rob and Baljit Prabhu, they both helped me physically and financially. So that must be mentioned. The others who helped me, of course, Lohitaksha Prabhu was very, very helpful. Then, Vijay Gopikesh Prabhu, Dasara Prabhu, Clive and all that, to a lesser extent. Aniruddha Prabhu helped me in the national level to fight for the $120,000. And Prabhashan Prabhu. And with that was our starting. And then we went to the national level, we got 120,000 and all that, and then we made our way. Slowly we plowed our way back. Every time I started the operations, every time I tried to build a team, each time I built a team, it only boomerang upon me. Somewhere or other they will find some fault with me. And so it was very, very frustrating. Each time we try to do it, no matter how hard you try, every time you build a team, and there'll be a problem. So a leader is expected to demonstrate a strong, in ISKCON at least, strong foundation in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, be scrupulous and at the same time be humble and enthusiastic. You have to also carry out ISKCON policies, you know. So sometimes we make decisions, but the congregation doesn't agree with you, and we still have to plod on. So management difficulties in Krishna consciousness, we have to listen to the top and we have to listen to the bottom also. You know, they gave us some ideas, like this building, one of the persons responsible is when Ramai Swami said that do the temple extension, you know, during the, I don't know whether Aniruddha Prabhu remembers, during the fire proofing, that time itself we had a discussion with that man, I can't remember his name, we talked about extension. We talked about extension there, we had a discussion there, that guy. Anyway, so, but over the years we just let it go. But Maharaj was insistent, you know, that you should do this thing. And then we got on with it. So, as ISKCON Adelaide was in the doldrums when I came here, we had to devise various ways to overcome this problem. So sometimes we break orthodoxy. We don't follow the normal rules sometimes. You know, we call lateral thinking. When we do that, people get upset. Oh, what are you doing? What? I don't give you examples, but I'm just saying. But we had to do all that. And And this is often misunderstood by others. I want to assure you that I've always acted in the best interest of Adelaide. Always. ISKCON Adelaide first, And as any place else, if the leader loses bilateral support, bilateral means support from top and support from the bottom, then in my opinion, he loses the morality to continue as a leader. So during my tenure, I had received maximum number of complaints. I probably is the number one recipient of complaint letters in Australia. So we also did number one. This goes to show either that I was a terrible manager or you all are good letter writers. And reminded me of an old, this Looney Tunes cartoon, I think most of you won't know. Beep, 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 beep is a road runner character. Beep, 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 beep. And there's coyote, the jackal, will try to trap this beep, beep, the road runner. You don't know that? No, I don't know. So each time he tries to trap, beep, beep, the road runner will escape. So like that for the last 15 years, so many traps, and I was escaping. But finally, in the last 1 year ago, there was a 14-page anonymous letter, just heavy letter, that was listing all the atrocities I've been doing. And that prompted me to step down. Actually, His Holiness Ramai Swami had warned me. He said that they will come after you first, and then they will come after your wife. And then your wife will advise, for the sake of sanity, let it go. So all these and even more actually happened. And that is the truth. So the highlights was, of course, so many things have been mentioned. We had the first fundraising, 200,000, second fundraising, another 200,000. And then we brought WOMAD back to Adelaide. That was a very difficult thing to do. WOMAD was being organized by Mool Vilamba, Ajita Prabhu. And Ajita Prabhu is not easy to deal with. It's extremely difficult, not as a person. Money, business is, every cent is important for him. It's very difficult to negotiate. But it was tough, but we managed, and that is actually a feather in the cap for ISKCON Adelaide. In view of the constant attack on my leadership, as well as advancing age and health, I decided it was time to draw the curtain down. As I felt it was the right time to step down, as the temple was in good shape, I handed my voluntary retirement letter to the GBCs seeking their permission, after which my retirement was accepted. Management succession is like a relay race. When you run, you pass the baton, as they say, baton, and then you take it. When I came here, nobody gave me a baton. They threw me in the deep end of the pool and I had to swim out of it. But Abhiram Prabhu is most lucky, not only passing the baton to him, the whole temple is handed over to him on a golden platter. Like Prabhu said, there is no debts, nothing. And like when we came, even they were stealing from the undial, and of course theft still goes on, but we had to, from everything, there was, that's not good. Normally, I would discuss very important spiritual matters, like what Prabhu says, we have a link of relationship with Guru Maharaj. We will discuss important spiritual matters like this to step down as the temple president. I did not do so this time. You know why? Because I was afraid he will say, don't step down and continue. And that is not right, but I had to do it because I didn't want this transition process to have any difficulties. And my understanding is, Ramesh Maharaj told me, unless I step down, it is difficult to appoint a new person. So that was what I was told. So I am being magnanimous in stepping down. The congregation always thought that I was holding on to power until kingdom come. This is far from the truth. When the first major crisis hit in 2017, I opted to let go. I told Mathura Manohar many times, I'm ready to go. But I was advised not to leave. So this is for those who think that I am just holding on to position. The second time was after a successful fundraising for temple extension. On the 6th of July 2021, I sent my official resignation, not to the national body, but to His Holiness Ramesh Swami and Holiness Devamurthy Swami. Very seriously saying that that's it, I've done my job, I have to go. Now that the money is there, and everything is nice in the temple. And both of them immediately got back to me saying to retract my resignation. And then finally, of course, in April 2025, that's when I gave my official one. It's not resignation, which I would really like to hear, but it's voluntary retirement. That's what I was told to, right? I listened to authority, told me to voluntary retirement. Now, my concern is ISKCON Temple is an institution of learning to distribute Krishna consciousness and Vaishnava culture. We have to be wary about Hinduization of ISKCON. This is a worldwide phenomenon. It's okay to make guests feel welcome by making the temple attractive, but not overtly friendly so much so that the purpose as a training institution is compromised. Being a teaching institution, emphasis must be placed on learning of Shastras, the syllabus, curriculum, etc. As otherwise the temple will become a fun station for socializing, musical entertainment. Hare Krishna, Hare. Because they're changing the tunes now for everybody's enjoyment. Food fair and gossip. Everybody's checking the food and houses. We have to educate our visitors on our organizational setup, temple rules, Vaishnava etiquette, Pancharatra system of worship, and coax them to practice the same. Finally, I'm not expecting any recognition for services rendered, as it was an honor to have served Srila Prabhupada's movement. Recently, someone asked me, if you could go back in time, how differently would you have acted? I said the same way. Why? I do not want to be an apologist for non-performance. If I listen to others, we will not be here. So no regrets. Many times, even buying that house and all that, I don't, because they always discourage. So what I do, I discuss with Ramesh Swami, and then we say what to do, what has to be done, and then with the financial, with the Mathura Group, and then only I'll call for a meeting. Everything. In fact, I signed for the agreement. I already signed, and the congregation did not know, because the congregation will go against me. So I had to buy it, sign it, and then I'll call for a meeting. What do you all think? It is coming up, and then half the people will say yes, half the people will say no. And one fellow will remember, it's Abhishek. Is it Abhishek Kaushal? Abhishek is, that time he was in real estate. And he said, no, you don't waste time, you have to, but okay, I will take Prabhu, you are saying. He doesn't know that. Now I'm saying, no, that I have to do all that to do the right thing. Like I said earlier, lateral thinking, you're for not following orthodoxy, and so all this happened. Now the passion has always been to preach Krishna consciousness, the glories of Krishna. I love to talk about Krishna. Not that I'm a great preacher, but I just love to do that. And disseminate the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. See, Prabhupada's teachings is different. That is unique, and that's amazing. You have to understand, it's not just Bhagavad Gita, it's not just Krishna. It's Prabhupada's teachings, the way he takes us. And so I'll be most grateful if I'm given more preaching. Some preaching assignments for which Brahmananda Prabhu seems to have difficulties with. So finally, my heartfelt thanks to Sri Radhashyam Sundar, Sri Prabhupada, GBC, NEC, and all other eminent Vaishnavas for having given me an opportunity to serve ISKCON. I'm not going anywhere, I'm here. Many people say, wish you would travel. No, I'm here. I am doing regularly home programs, not Srimad Bhagavatam, but Bhagavad Gita. You said Srimad Bhagavatam. It is canto by canto, chapter by chapter, 18 chapters, PowerPoint presentations, and that is the latest that I'm doing. I want more young people, those who want to be trained and then preach the philosophy according to it. Thank you very much. We had a long journey, wonderful journey. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. His Grace Adi Pushpa Prabhu ki Jai. His Grace Local Mataji ki Jai. I call upon Abhiram Prabhu to honor Adi Pushpa Prabhu and Mataji with a memento of appreciation.
Maybe.
Sweet.
We now come through the Thanksgiving service honoring His Grace Adi Pushpa Prabhu and Her Grace Local Mataji and family. Finally, events like this require a great deal of preparation and dedication. A small but incredibly hardworking team of volunteers made this celebration possible. I would like to sincerely thank the following groups: the Pujari department, the garland team, cooking and vegetable cutting team, cleaning and gardening team, the prasadam serving team, the crowd control team, the welcome team, the photography team, the IT team, the pot washing and purchasing team, and the gift team. Without your collective efforts, we could not run this festival successfully. Finally, a heartfelt thank you to our eternal peace sponsor, Ashok Kumar Jairaj. Your support made today's prasadam possible. Thank you all once again, and we'll have Arati start very soon, and after Arati, prasadam will be served. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Parivajikacharya Ashtotam Shishimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jaya Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Ashtotam Shishimad Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Ramsika Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Sri Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Sri Purushottam Chitra Ki Sri Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Sri Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtana Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Oh, glories to the Sankirtana. Oh, glories to the Sankirtana. Oh, glories to the Sankirtana. Oh, glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Oh, glories to Sri Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Jai.
Hare Krishna everyone, can you please come forward? The Satari Lordship's feet will be on your place on your head. Oh, it's all switched off. Up and up. Okay.
Kirtan Adelaide. Leave a like and subscribe.